Do you know that Samsung is constantly getting the most selling Android smartphone award for last 2 years? And that's not even being their highest and latest flagship models. Rather, it's the Samsung Galaxy A50 and A51. So recently Samsung launched their successor Galaxy A52 that costs only $450 and it's coming with a lot of improvements. Starting with the unboxing, it's coming with pretty regular Samsung packaging and which says it's 5G because it also has a 4G variant that's some downgraded hardware and pricing. And if you look into the box, it's coming with a TPU case that the 4G variant does not have. Other than that, the packaging is almost same. It has some documentation, a SIM ejector pin, and the smartphone I got is blue. Although you have 3 more other options to choose from. In the bottom part, it has 15-watt charger and a regular USB-C cable. Now, I have had this Galaxy A51 for last 1 year and the experience with it was not actually bad. But I felt it lacks some flagship features that is an absolute necessity in 2021. And the Galaxy A52 has almost all the flagship features that you might ask for a mid-range smartphone. Into the specs, it has a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus HDR10 supported 120Hz display, a 4500 mAh battery with powerful 25-watt fast charging support, a 64-megapixel quad camera setup, the 32-megapixel front camera, all paired with the new Snapdragon 750G processor that also unlocks 5G, which is not only faster than Snapdragon 730 or 32G, but also better than Snapdragon 765G. It's got 6 or 8 GB of RAM. It has NFC and Samsung Knox support. It's got a dual stereo speakers. It's got a headphone jack. It's even IP67 dust and water resistant. And by watching the specs, I think Samsung have exceeded my expectations. Sure, in one hand it feels like a flagship smartphone that almost have all the features that you need, but in other hand it also have some shortcomings too. Like the boxy plastic design makes it feel thicker, less premium and less comfortable than its ancestors. Although the matte finish makes the phone lighter and less prone to smudges for its matte finish on it. And if you tap on the back part of this smartphone, it sounds like a 90s kid gaming toy. I'm not telling that 90s kids gaming toy sounds bad, it just does not sound as good as 2021 smartphones. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the video so far, please consider tapping the like and subscribe button. Alright, this phone got a lot of design ideas inherited from its elder siblings. Like the camera module looks a lot like Samsung Galaxy S21 series. The front is protected by Gorilla Glass 5 and the Super AMOLED display here has the flagship level feeling. It has a tiny camera cutout with pretty negligible amount of bezel around it and the fingerprint sensor position is perfect. It is still on the slower side as it is an optical sensor that needs a lot of light to work on. This large amount of light also annoying while unlocking the phone at midnight. But when you unlock, you will be looking at A+ display. It's sharp, its color production is as good as Samsung's other flagship displays and this can get as bright as 800 nits. This display is great for watching movies, media consuming and social media browsing. In most of the mid-range smartphone, even though some of them coming with the best available processor, you can see occasional lag here and there. But using this Samsung Galaxy A52 for last 2 weeks as my primary and daily driver, I almost found no hiccup or lag up anywhere in the smartphone. It was just a smooth and lag-free experiences. I have to say Samsung's One UI 3.1 along with Android 11 makes this smartphone a lot smoother. Oh, one good news here for the Samsung users that Samsung recently announced 4 years of security updates with 3 major Android updates for all of their A series smartphones. These particular features along with Samsung's legendary Knox security system makes this Samsung A series so ahead of its competition that the smartphones like Pixel series or Pixel 4a or even Pixel 5 gets behind of this Samsung Galaxy A52. So what's special about this software? What makes it different than companies like OnePlus? Well, the credit goes to stability, features and security of Samsung. Some unique features like link to Windows, Samsung DeX and ad-free UI make Samsung stand out from the crowd. Now, one thing that mid-range smartphone lags behind a flagship is camera. Although some of the mid-range smartphones have very capable camera hardware, even some of them have better camera hardware than the flagship smartphones, but they always lag behind of that post-processing part that makes the ultimate photo looks cheap. Sometimes they have unnatural colors, too saturated skin tones or bad night mode photos. All these are the bad camera algorithms, but this camera is different. It's quad camera setup with 64 megapixel main camera that comes with optical image stabilization, 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 5 megapixel macro and 5 megapixel depth sensor combined with 32 megapixel selfie shooter. So effectively there are two rear cameras that most of the people will use, and the quality this camera gives at this price range is so far the best to me. Starting with video, this can shoot 4K 30fps video with OIS. It has astonishing color reproduction with ample details and great dynamic range, I would say. Focusing has become lot smoother than the last year and switching between lenses giving almost negligible difference in quality. And of course, the OIS here works great, minimizing the jittering that you get from cheaper EIS alternative. You can also use super steady mode that uses its ultra wide angle lenses to shoot even smoother images. I'm literally running at my full potential in this video and you can see almost no jittering or exposure shifting issues at all. Switching to front camera, you can pretty much get the best video camera at this price range without any doubt. It has 4K, it supports EIS with incredible dynamic range and skin tone. Look at the details here. Pretty much all other phone would over sharpen my face to be looked more detailed. But this camera is capturing actual details with minimal possible noise. In low light though, this camera is facing some white balance issues. All the blue colors you see here are actually white. The camera here is trying to minimize the yellow street light color to some extent, which brings up the slightly different looking images. Other than that, OIS here helping the camera gathering a lot of light that reduces micro jitterings and noise levels. Now in photography department, it does a flagship job. I have taken photos again and again just to see some drawbacks with this camera, but the result I got was so good that I started believing that in $450 this is just the best possible camera that you can get. The dynamic range, the details and the color you see here is just flagship grade. Although you can see slight color shifting between lenses where ultra wide being slightly to the cooler tone doesn't make a huge deal in image quality. The portrait mode works very good here with excellent edge detection. It doesn't matter whether the subject is closer or far from the lens, it always manages to separate the subject from the background and apply a natural looking bokeh. In selfie camera though, when taking pictures in harsh sunlight, it has a tendency to darken the sky to maintain a better dynamic range. But it comes out to be a little unnatural looking portraits. Other than that, it has plenty of details and accurate skin tones in front facing camera. Now in low light, this camera does an incredible job. That's because it has OIS in its main sensor. Almost all other smartphones that you get in this $400 or $450 price range, almost all of them does not have an optical image stabilized sensor. So this camera does a very steady job at low light photography with minimal possible noise and very good dynamic range. The photos are bright, highlights are well controlled here in this area, and even the ultra wide camera does a fair job in this low light category. In this particular price range, I would consider the best low light camera smartphone to be the Pixel 4a, but Samsung Galaxy A52 seems to keep that up too. So in low light photography, I think the Galaxy A52 is even doing a better job as it has an ultra wide angle lens and a very optically stabilized main sensor that makes this a beast of a camera under $450 that works way too good in low light. In camera, you will get some fun options like single take that takes a lot of different kind of shots to make your memories stay, Bixby Vision to translate text while traveling, and Samsung Doodle for some stuffs. You do also have full-fledged Pro Video mode or Pro photography mode, slow motion and super slow motion features. The super slow mo does not have arguably the best possible quality because the processor cannot process better quality at 960 frames per second, but this processor can handle almost all the game without any issues. I have played one of the toughest game for a smartphone, Genshin Impact. In default settings, I had no issues while playing. After that, I have cranked up the graphics settings to the highest, and that gave me occasional lag and hiccup. So I will suggest you to run Genshin Impact at default possible settings. Although this phone was handling Asphalt 9, Call of Duty and Free Fire without any issues. Even in PUBG at high graphics and high frame rate was completely playable. But I do suggest playing at a balance plus ultra settings that will give you more smoothness and available quality. Finally, if you ask me about the value of this smartphone, I would say there are some smartphones like Poco F3 Pro or Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro Max that offers even better value for its price point. But this is Samsung Galaxy A51 with its One UI, very good software update, camera, IP67 rating, 5G and very good ad-free One UI is giving overall a better experience than those Chinese brand smartphones, and you will get 4 years of guaranteed software updates in this Galaxy A52. So I would say this Samsung Galaxy A52 is going to be the best selling smartphone of 2021 again, like the Samsung Galaxy A50 and A51. So what do you think about this Samsung Galaxy A52? Please let me know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe in this channel. So for today, tata, bye bye, দেখা হবে পরের কোনো ভিডিওতে।